Imagine an expert advisor that actually advises, an indicator that tells you what comes next and not what has already passed. At MetaNeural, we don't have to imagine, and neither do you. For years, neural network technology has been used by the most successful hedge fund managers and trading firms in the world. Now, the ability to use your personal computer to detect and trade complex patterns in the markets has never been easier. An advisor that learns never becomes obsolete. Hello everyone. In our last video, we collected market data in a format that was necessary for our neural network software to read. In this video, we'll actually import our collected data into the neural software, and I'll show you how to do that. First, let's get our collected file, which is here. What we'll have to do is open the Neural Expert Wizard. It's worth noting that this software is a third-party software. We do not develop it. It's used for everything from voice recognition to image processing. It's an extremely powerful artificial intelligence software, and applying it to the financial markets is one of its greatest applications, and it's worked very well. So once you open the Neural Expert Wizard, you want to keep the beginner checkbox checked. In a later video, we'll go into all of the various options on advanced, but for now, we'll just leave it on beginner. We want to select function approximation. The reason we select function approximation is because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to approximate the projected path of our pattern. So all of the data points that we collected, open, high, close, indicator values, they all create a very complex pattern that the neural network brain will read. And we want to project that pattern, extrapolate it into the future, at least one bar or more, to determine what the next move in the market is going to be. So function approximation is our strategy at this point. Once that's selected, click Next. Then we need to find our file, browse. There it is, under your Metatrader folder, Experts and Files. Select it, open. And now we'll see all of the columns, the headers that were in that CSV file. It's asking us for the to select the inputs. My recommendation to start off is to use all of the data point columns that you can, because the more complex the pattern, the more accurate the function approximation will be. So let's go ahead and select them all, but of course we don't want to select our output. So we can uncheck our output, because obviously that's the result that we want in the future. And we'll also uncheck the close zero column. If you'll remember from the last video, close zero is all zeroed out. It doesn't have any values because everything is subtracted from close zero due to the option that we selected in the indicator, collection indicator. So now that we've unselected close zero and our output, let's go on to the next. It's asking which columns represent symbolic or categorical data. We don't have any symbolic or categorical data. We only have numeric, so we can skip this. Choose the file containing the data to model. Now, the file that we want to use to model is the file that we collected all our data in, the 10,000 bars. So we'll go ahead and click on Use Input File for desired file. Now it's asking to select columns to model. This is basically the desired outputs, and that's going to be output 1. Close 0 will uncheck, because again that's all zeros. So now we have our output column as our desired output. Choose level of neural network complexity. You'll be tempted to go up in complexity, however, because it looks like there's a lot of data points that it has to extrapolate, but this software is so powerful that in fact what we need it for one output we'll only need low complexity. Once we move up to 2 or 3 outputs, then we can go to medium and high, but for now we'll stay at low complexity. We'll click Finish to create the neural network structure. So there it is, it's building. I haven't sped this up. It's pretty quick. At the top here you'll see a visual representation of the network structure. Basically this is sort of looking at the brain structure of the neural network based on the input data that we selected. So the next step is to actually train, sort of educate and test at the same time our neural network brain. So let's go ahead and click Start to begin. You'll see that it's running through the simulation process, and what we've got is our output versus desired plot, and over here we have a cross section. It's sort of took a chunk of the CSV file, set it aside, and we're testing the effectiveness of our brain against that sample. That's what this is. Now you'll see if we look close enough, we did 10,000 bars, so there's quite a lot of data. But if we look close enough, we can see that it's starting to conform to the market. Simulation is almost complete. I have a pretty fast computer, but it's not something that takes a lot of processing power at this level. Once we move up to 2 or 3 outputs, or 50,000 or 100,000 bars, then you're moving into something where you'll need a little bit more processing power, but it's not absolutely necessary. So we're complete. We've got our cost of criterion here, our sort of mean error, which is extremely small. And that's basically a tested and trained neural network brain. Follow us in our next video when we'll create the DLL, which will house our brain. Thanks for watching.